Feels like for the first time in your college career, you have some consistency going for you. How has that helped you this offseason going into a year where you know you're the starting quarterback?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been refreshing. I think, you start to make that jump, especially in a system from year one to year two. So I think, the whole staff, myself, our teammates, having that extra year under your belt really does do you a big difference. And I love where we're at right now.
You mentioned the staff, year two with Graham Harrell and his offense. What is he able to do for your development and just working with him on a consistent basis?
Yeah, I think once you get to year two, you start to work out the fine details, and now I'm able to check a run, or he gives me a lot of freedom, which is cool to kind of change the play if I want to with how I see it, and I think he had that freedom as a player, so now it's cool to see him as a coach allow that to his players. So it's been awesome.
And your head coach, Ryan Walters, his first year with the program last year. What kind of identity is he trying to establish? I mean, big background, not only playing safety in college, building some great college defenses, but now he's the head coach. What does he want you guys to be?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we live by as a team is being competitive, tough, and disciplined, and we really truly do live by that. And that's something that he's instilled. Coach Rowe, our head strength guy, has instilled in us. Which is huge. And Walters is an amazing coach. He's a player's coach, but he also keeps you to a really high standard as a player, and someone that I've really enjoyed playing for.
You dealt with some injury last year. What was that adversity like, just working through that and coming back and finishing strong?
Yeah, I had some injuries last year, but that's football at the end of the day, and it's hard to be completely healthy the whole season. So I've had some injuries in my playing time, and if I can play, I'm going to do everything I can to be out there on that field. But this year, just trying to put on more weight. Prepare my body for a season that's going to come, and hopefully I can avoid injuries as much as I can this year.
Last year at the end of the season, back-to-back shootouts against Minnesota, Indiana. You guys come out on top. 6 touchdowns for you, no interceptions. Can you take that momentum from that season and kind of carry it not only through the spring but into the following year?
Yeah, I think so, and I think that was our goal. Last year at that time, kind of going to the end of the season, to finish strong and to build that momentum from last year to this year, and that was one of our goals at the end of the season last year, and we accomplished that, and it's something that I do think that can kind of transfer over to this year.
Last year, it felt like Tyrone Tracy was kind of this hidden gem of the offense. Then everybody caught up eventually. Is there a guy this offseason that you think is being kind of slept on or under the radar that's going to be a playmaker for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think a majority of our guys, I think a lot of our guys are getting slept on, and but that's the beauty, of being at Purdue right now is, nobody really knows what we have, and that's fine. Being able to show the case that on Saturdays is really the only thing that matters, and that's where our head's at.
I think another thing people are missing is you played a lot of close games last year, a lot of one-score games where the record could really be flipped. What do you take away from those games that could have came down to 1 or 2 different plays, and how that can kind of transition to more success this year?
Yeah, I think you can learn from it, obviously, and when you get hit with adversity, you can either learn from it or run from it, and I wouldn't be the man I am today without having to face all the adversity that I've faced in my career. So just learn from it, and that way next time you're in that position, you understand it, how to persevere it, and I think as a team, we'll be in a much better spot to be able to do that this year.
4 new teams in this conference. I know that brings some excitement. What kind of challenges does that bring as well?
Yeah, I mean, as a competitor, you want to play the best, and now we have that opportunity. The Big Ten is arguably one of the best conferences in college football, so it's something that you want. And now there's 18 teams and no really division, so it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. But it's definitely going to be a challenge, but a challenge that we want to face.
At the end of last season, the 88-yard rushing performance, we know you have the rushing ability. Is that something you kind of expect to use a little bit more of this year?
Yeah, I think it depends what the defense gives you. at times last year, it probably wasn't the smartest for me to run just because of some of the injuries that I was having. But, it's definitely part of my game. And, I'm more of a pass first guy. And, if the play needs to get extended, I can use my legs. So it's just finding that balance between what's right and what's wrong.
How does this program take that next step, especially where, we talked about it. Now everybody has found a little bit more consistency, whether it's your head coach, your offensive coordinator, you playing in that coordinator's offense. How does that kind of help going into this year, where last year I'm sure everyone's heads were just kind of spinning at once?
Yeah, it's huge. I think, on all sides of the ball, having that extra year within the system makes a huge difference. I think our guys will be a lot more prepared, and, we've spent a whole year and some change, together, which, the best teams that I've been a part of is when the locker room is really tight and there's a brotherhood, and we've developed that over off season. So again, I'm excited for this fall.
You get to practice against one of the best young safeties in the country in Dylan Thieneman. What is that energy like? A guy with that kind of range, physical ability, and how much better does that make the offense?
Yeah, I mean he's a stud. It's kind of funny because when I first got here last year in spring, he was a freshman,
Right.
and I just got here. I didn't really know, too many faces at the time, and I wasn't really thinking too much of him. But man, within the first, couple days, I was like, this
Stay
kid's
away from him?
this kid's the
Yeah.
real deal. So, but I think it's just him as a person, and how he carries his life, outside of football. He does everything right. He's one of the first ones in the building, last ones to leave, and he has an unbelievable work ethic. So, usually when you're living right off the field, that translates to you on the field, and he's a great player and great person.
What's your favorite thing about playing for Purdue since you transferred?
Honestly, it's the fans are amazing. It's arguably, in my opinion, the most loyal fans in the country, and to have them by our side is something special. And then just playing alongside my brothers and my teammates, nothing gets better than that.